The war was over. The great, galaxy-spanning conflict that had consumed generations, that had turned stars into funeral pyres and planets into tombs, had finally come to an end. Humanity had lost. Of the trillions that once swarmed across the Orion Arm, only a few thousand remained. Scattered survivors hiding in the wreckage of their fallen empire, waiting for the final blow. But the final blow never came. Instead, the Venerans arrived. Their ships, sleek and silver, descended not with fire and fury, but with a strange, unnerving silence. They moved through the ruins of human cities and the hulks of shattered starships, their movements deliberate and careful. When they found the last pockets of humanity, they didn't raise their weapons. They extended their hands. They gathered the survivors gently, almost reverently, as if they were handling priceless, fragile artifacts recovered from a forgotten museum. There was no malice in their touch, no gloating in their gaze. They spoke in soft, melodic tones that soothed frayed nerves and quieted the cries of frightened children. They offered food, water, and medical care, tending to the wounds of their former enemies with a compassion that was utterly baffling. These were the last humans, the final remnants of a species that had once declared itself the master of the cosmos. Now they were just refugees, frightened, broken, and utterly at the mercy of their conquerors. The Venerans carried them from the cold, sterile metal of their hiding places and brought them aboard their living ships. They traveled through the silent void, back toward a small blue dot in a forgotten corner of the galaxy, back to Earth. But it was not the Earth humanity remembered. It was not a world choked by pollution or scarred by the final, desperate battles of the war. This Earth was pristine. It was a world reborn. The Venerans had healed it, painstakingly restoring the ecosystems humanity had nearly destroyed. They guided the humans to quiet valleys untouched by war, where crystal-clear rivers flowed and ancient forests stood tall and green. They settled them in simple, comfortable homes nestled in the heart of this renewed paradise. For a time, it seemed like a new beginning, a chance for humanity to start over, to live in peace under the benevolent watch of their victors. But the Venerans had one final act of mercy to perform, and this act was the most profound and the most terrifying of all. One by one, family by family, they were put into a peaceful slumber. And when they awoke, something was missing. The memories were gone, not just the memories of the war, the bloodshed, the terror, everything. The knowledge of starships, of advanced technology, of the vast galactic empire they had once commanded. It was all erased, wiped clean from their minds. They woke up with the simple, uncluttered consciousness of a primitive people. They looked at the stars not with the ambition of a conqueror, but with the simple wonder of a child. They knew only the forest, the river, the hunt, and the seasons. It wasn't an act of cruelty. It wasn't an act of vengeance. The Venerans were not punishing humanity for its hubris. They were protecting the galaxy, and in a way, protecting humanity from itself. They had studied human history, both the history they wrote in the stars and the long, bloody history they had left behind on Earth. They saw a pattern, a relentless, recurring drive to dominate, to expand, to conquer. A species that creates conquerors once, they reasoned, may do so again. The Venerans feared what humanity might build next. They had seen the terrible beauty of human ingenuity when it was turned to destruction. They had witnessed the terrifying resolve of a species that would burn half the galaxy just to claim the other half. They understood that the same spark that led to art, philosophy, and exploration was inextricably linked to the one that led to weapons that could crack planets. To erase the memory of the one was to dampen the potential for the other. So they made a choice. They chose safety over potential. They chose peace over progress. They decided that a small, primitive, and happy humanity, living in harmony with its homeworld, was better than a galaxy-spanning empire constantly teetering on the brink of self-annihilation. It was an act of profound pity, an act of galactic stewardship, or perhaps an act of supreme arrogance. Who could say? The Venerans became silent gardeners, tending to their carefully cultivated crop of humanity. They watched from orbit, unseen and unknown. They ensured the climate remained stable. They diverted asteroids. They subtly guided the nascent human culture away from any path that might lead back to the old ways. They provided a paradise, but it was a gilded cage, its bars forged from forgotten knowledge. Humanity, for its part, was content. They lived and died, loved and lost, all within the confines of their verdant cradle. They told stories around crackling fires, myths of sky gods and forest spirits, never knowing that the sky gods were the very beings who had confined them there. They were a species with a grand and terrible past, reduced to an eternal, innocent present. Was it mercy? Or was it the ultimate form of control? The Venerans had won the war, not by destroying their enemy, but by unmaking them. They had defeated humanity not with weapons, but with kindness. They had saved the galaxy from humanity, and saved humanity from itself. And in doing so, they had erased 1 billion stars from the human imagination, replacing them with the gentle, rustling leaves of a forest that was both a home and a prison. The war was over, but its most lasting casualty was not a city or a planet, but the memory of what it meant to be human. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe for Chapter 6.